outside. Watch out.
Oh, watch out.
This is one half of Pixel Terror.
Yes.
Ahrya.
Hey.
Say hello, hello.
Hi, guys.
All right. You're from LA, right?
Yes, I was born and raised in LA my whole entire life.
Where in LA?
I haven't left. More like the Beverly Hills area. So like, yeah, over there. I haven't really moved much.
Okay. How would your friends and family describe you growing up?
Growing up, I was like a little bit of a jokester, I guess. I would always get into a little bit of trouble in school. I didn't really take like, when I was young, I didn't take
detention all the time.
Yeah, I got detention a couple times. I wasn't anything too crazy. I wasn't like doing anything wrong. I was just mostly just like joking around or like.
So you're the clown of the class.
I was like a class clown a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Obviously now I'm a lot more like quiet, a lot more. I try to be a lot more polite and not like distracting in school. Take things a little bit more seriously. But growing up, yeah, I was definitely like slacking off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very not like what my personality is right now, I would say. But childhood was great. Had a lot of friends. Warm, amazing family. Music came into the picture more so in like middle school, so like around 13.
Oh, that was pretty early.
Pretty early.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, you know, how in like those other interviews they're just like, yeah, he started out doing music when he was 5 years old. He would always play with the pots and pans, like drums. Like, no, I was more just like 13 years old. I was like any other kid listening to music on my iPod Shuffle.
Yeah.
And then it kind of stemmed from there.
Were your parents supportive with your music decision?
So
like, where did you get your creative side from?
My mom says that I got from my uncle. I don't know though, because like I haven't seen my uncle. Like he lives over in Israel, so I don't see him that often. But she said like it's kind of in our genes. But with that in mind, I think I'm the only person that does music in like my whole immediate family. I honestly don't know how it stemmed, because yeah, we are creative in a sense, but none of us do music.
Oh, okay.
I'm not,
so
like,
what do your
anything.
parents do?
So my father, he does more clothing and real estate and like a couple other things of that nature. And then my mom is a stay-at-home mom. She takes care of my little brother and all of us. But like, yeah, nothing that has to do with music. It was a lot.
Oh, really?
It was a lot on my own.
Did you grow up in a strict family? Because I know you're Persian, right?
I am
so
Persian.
I know
No, actually,
sometimes Persian families can be strict, like similar to Asian families. Like.
Well, somewhat. I know that you've definitely heard like among strict families that you're either like a lawyer, a doctor, or a disappointment.
A disappointment.
But no,
That's so sad.
Yeah, my family is very supportive of my music career. I'm still in school, so I'm in my last year of college, and
what are you studying?
I'm studying business.
Oh, okay. Is there a specific focus in business?
No,
or just
as of
business
now,
in
it's just regular business administration.
Okay.
I take marketing classes, which is pretty applicable to the music industry. I hope to take some music industry like electives next semester, but for the most part, it's just good old-fashioned business, finance, accounting.
Nice.
The whole mishmash of that. But yeah, my family has been very supportive. I think as long as I stay in school and it doesn't get too much into the way of like my education, I can do whatever the hell I want with music.
So when you told them that you're going to go into, so I assume that you're doing music full time.
It is full time. Of course, I'm still in school, so
yeah.
I'm trying to do both.
So how is that balancing school and music?
So all my free time outside of school and studying and homework is to music. Like me and Bentley meet as much as possible. Even when we're not meeting for studio sessions or anything like that, I'm like trying new things to like push the music, finish the music production. I have my laptop with me, so even in between classes I'm working on music. So I try to like think of every single pocket I have and try to fill that with music career. So it's
you have no free time.
I mean, thankfully music is a fun thing to do. So it's not like I'm like doing mundane work.
Right.
And like I'm privileged enough to like have the ability to even do that and like alongside school. But there have been times where, for example, I couldn't go to a show and I had to let Bentley go on his own, because I had like a midterm or a test or a big project I had to do. It's times like that where being a duo is good. Ooh, watch out, ice cream. It's times like that where being a duo is good. Especially
because then you don't have to put it on hold.
Yeah, because we always have one person working on it.
Right.
You know, two minds are better than one.
That's true. A lot of people are asking if there are any cons to being a duo.
Cons to being a duo? Okay, I think besides the amazing benefits that come with being a duo, which I can't even begin to get into, I think the biggest con is that two people, when there is somewhat of a disagreement, whether it be like, for example, me and Bentley are still trying to figure out like the track list for our next EP, or like where to focus our efforts towards, so whether it be like collabs or like a new music, like we want to try on new genres, and like should we like dive into that, or should we dive into more like music with bigger people and people that we actually like. When it comes to disagreements like that, it can get a little tough because there's not like one mediator. Right. So we both have like our opposing views sometimes, and like one vote for this thing, one vote for that thing. There's no like tiebreaker always. Right. So there's a lot. I mean, arguments and conflict is inevitable, but like sometimes we really have to like talk it out. Of course we do come to a consensus in the end, and we do get along, which is great. And we do our jobs very well. Okay, so Bentley, so he was a talent booker, and he reached out to you through SoundCloud. How'd you know that? I read about it. You read about it. Okay. Yeah. So tell me, like, really, is this a joke or? No, well, he wasn't necessarily a talent booker. Well, he was a talent booker for like a small thing. He did. I'm sure he's going to dive into this so much more when you interview him. But he used to do this event called Revolt, and it was like it started out as like a small event thing where there was like a designated night every week, and he would book acts that like DJs and like producers who actually made their own music, for one, but also that maybe didn't have the biggest following, but he himself found the music to be really dope. So he wanted to showcase people who made great music, who maybe didn't have that much of a real life following. So he reached out to me on SoundCloud, which he calls the Tinder for DJs. I read that. I thought that was so funny. It's so true, though. It is, yes. Lots of DJs link up because of SoundCloud. It's a very nice, nice platform. Yep. So he reached out to me. He's like, "Oh, are you in LA?" I'm like, "Yes." I was like so happy that anyone recognized me. I had like 300 followers on SoundCloud. And how old were you? I believe I was either 17 or 18. Oh, okay. Maybe 18. So yeah, with that, like, it was really hard to play in like the clubs and the venues that we were playing at. Right? I had to like borrow my cousin's ID to get into those places and like pretend that I was someone and not. But yeah, he reached me. He hit me up on SoundCloud, and he asked me to play the show, and I was stoked. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll play all my great like music that no one's heard before. And I got there, and I opened up, and there was no one there. Of course, it was small. I was opening doors. But either way, like, we stayed friends, and we got in the studio together soon after, and we made some music together. It was cool. It was being well received. One of our first remixes together, like as individuals collaborating on a remix, was for Jackal's Animal Style, and that was a big record that was on Mad Decent, and that remix got on Mad Decent officially. Oh, cool. And we didn't we didn't see anything coming with that. Like, we just made the song, we sent it to Jackal, he's like, I love it, and it became an official thing. And you know, over time, things like that and like other things that just kind of like kept us going. So it was kind of random. He was like, yo, or was it, who came up with the idea to come together and start the duo? Yeah, so we kept making music consistently, and then at some point he's like, hey, Slushy, this is whenever Slushy and Marshmallow and everyone started being like a thing. Oh, they're like, everyone's doing like a whole brand behind their music. Like, it's cool that we're making dope music, but I feel like people need to resonate with us together, so why don't we just start like a little project? It wasn't anything too crazy, not much thought put into it. And then Bentley, we were looking, and Bentley's like, I don't want to do like a food. I don't want to do like an inanimate object like a Slushy or a Marshmallow. And we like played around with some ideas. He's like, why don't we just make our characters look cute and use that?
Yeah.
And we ended up on the name Pixel Terror because
He just woke up.
apparently he woke up in a dream
That's
and
so
that name
random.
popped to his head. And let's go through there.
He
So
was
the
like-
project itself is 3 years, maybe coming on its 4th.
Right.
So like 2015, 2016. That's when we
okay.
started.
And your parents were totally fine with it as long
I mean,
as
when we started, we didn't think anything of it. We're just like, oh, you make cool music. Let's put a name behind it. Let's put like a face to the picture with our characters.
So when did you tell your parents that, hey, by the way, we came up with this thing, and I think I'm gonna go full on with it?
Well, they like saw it, and they're like, why the hell is this guy coming to our house every day? I mean, of course, my mom loves Bentley now, like
Yeah,
a second
right?
son.
Yeah.
But we work predominantly from my studio, a little bedroom studio. And he used to come all the time.
Yeah.
So she kind of got the gist that we were working on something.
Yeah.
And my parents are very they don't know anything about. They're very sheltered when it comes to music. They don't really know much.
So, like, do they know about EDM now that you're doing it? Do they
know
listen
I
to your stuff?
They know I make construction noises with my music. It's very
They know
aggressive.
that you make construction noises.
Yes. So it's very, very
Is that how
aggressive
they?
music.
Yeah.
Like I describe my music as something that I can't really show like my grandma. You know, like she won't like understand it.
You should. You should.
Yeah, but,
and
like,
record
it's-
her reaction.
It's kind of like it's more based. It's more towards people who are younger who are a little bit more
Right.
with the EDM culture
Right.
and a little bit more involved with
Yeah.
bass music.
Yeah, exactly.
But they understand that I like it and they see the opportunities that come. Like my parents aren't strict at all, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes my mom calls me and like we're out and like I remember we went to Maryland one time and she called me. She's like, "Ahrya, where are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm in Maryland."
you could
and
just wow.
And she's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm playing a show." She's like, "Okay."
Wow. Oh my God. If I just told my mom that, she would freak out.
Yeah. She sees the opportunities that come with it. She sees the
That's
shows.
awesome.
She sees that I'm not buying a hotel room and like they're giving me a hotel room, so it's like she knows something's coming of it.
That's good. What do you think's your biggest struggle outside of obviously balancing school and music?
Outside of struggling, okay. So I think my biggest struggle right now is I'm like really trying to push Pixel Terror as much as we can. Like right now, very soon, because I'm putting a lot of my time and energy into it, and I obviously like I love the music and I love doing it, but I want to make a career out of it.
Right.
Somewhat.
And are there any, tips and tricks you could share on how
if
to
anyone could
push
give
it?
me tips and tricks, I think that believing in yourself, making the music you want to make, and just reaching as many different audiences as you can. I know people who actually listen to our music hear that we dabble in different genres. It's not all dubstep. We do dubstep, we do mid-tempo, we did a house tune a few months back. So we're really trying to hit all corners and make the music we want to make.
Right.
We don't want to put ourselves in a hole and just like feel like we have to conform to one genre necessarily. I'm sure all DJs say this, but we don't want to like conform to necessarily like one style.
Right.
We want to keep the integrity of Pixel Terror, the sound design, the music, the sound, all that.
So if you're talking to any up and coming artists, how would you, what advice would you give them?
First of all, develop your music. Obviously you have to, you have your taste, but the technical abilities aren't always there in the beginning. So hone your craft, of course. But once you feel like you're at a good place and your music speaks for itself and you're struggling more so with the promotion, the marketing, the getting the music out there part as opposed to the production part, maybe find a label that suits you, something that maybe has like a similar sound. Like with us, before we joined Monstercat, we aimed for Monstercat. We were like, okay, Monstercat is great, the music is very our style, we're very colorful, Monstercat is very video game oriented. I think our music would be a great fit, branding wise, sound wise. So we used to send all of our demos to Monstercat.
Because you sent multiple tracks to Monstercat before you even got any response.
This is my favorite. Yes. So Monstercat, we
a
sent
few or a lot.
We sent 12 demos over to Monstercat,
Yeah.
and every single one got rejected at first.
Mm-hmm.
We kept sending to our good friends and appointed A&R Sasha Vibes, a great man. He used to always tell us like, oh, send us demos, and we would send him demos. Okay, we sent him like four more, 8, and then like at one point we just kept sending them demos, and he just said like, no, it's not really a good fit right now, but keep sending more. He would say that. He's like, keep sending more.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time, this was the big thing that happened that kind of like stopped our growth for like a second. Actually didn't stop our growth. It was like a little big of a tragic moment in Pixel Terror history.
A tragic moment in Pixel.
A tragic moment in Pixel Terror history.
How far along into your
so that
project?
was actually when I lost my laptop. My laptop got stolen.
What?
Yes.
When?
This was December of 2017
Where?
or something. So we just got back from, no, maybe not 2017, 2018 possibly, last year.
Oh my god,
2
that
years?
is tragic.
3 years? I don't know.
That's so sad.
I don't know, it's in the past.
That's
but
like a producer's worst nightmare.
yeah, especially when you don't back up your hard drive. So
Oh, no.
for all the producers out there, back up your whole
your-
entire computer.
Wow.
3 times. Keep them in 3
times.
different places.
Wow.
Under your bed, in a box under the ocean. Just hide your, just keep them safe.
Oh my god, so you lost your laptop?
So I lost my laptop right before we sent a bunch of demos over to Monstercat that all got rejected also. And it sucked because all of our past projects, numerous demos, just like a lot of my like
Did
saved
Bentley not have
sounds.
it on his stuff?
No, I mean Bentley did have some music, but like we work a lot from my computer because like I'm a little bit more of like the technical side, so
Okay.
I could like mix and master the songs.
He's
like,
the more
so
artsy guy. He draws and stuff.
he does he does a lot more than just the art stuff.
Yeah,
He does the
right.
music too, but like
Right,
a lot
obviously.
a lot of the music like comes onto my computer after, and like we kind of develop it from there. So a lot of the material was on my laptop, and yeah, I got
okay.
stolen. Yeah, someone broke into our friend's car, and this was right after we came back from Seattle. So we went to the airport, and we're like, oh, we're hungry. So we parked the car. I was like, oh, I'm home safe. Like I don't have to hold my backpack. I left
This
it in
was
the
in
car.
LA?
This was in LA.
Oh my god.
And we were getting tatsu ramen, and someone broke into the car and took my whole entire backpack with 2 different laptops, including my current laptop.
What?
So it was a little bit of sudden growth, and I was very depressed.
Seriously?
But
I'm so sorry that
But
happened.
like they didn't steal me; they stole my computer. So I got a new one a little bit after, and on that computer we made Contra and Jina that both got signed to Monstercat.
Oh,
very soon
nice.
after.
What's next for Pixel Terror?
Okay, so on the radar right now, of course, more shows, more music.
Red Rocks?
Red Rocks is coming up with Millennium, and Keizo's coming up on Halloween in Vegas.
What?
So a lot of great things are
Yeah.
happening. Hopefully another show in December in LA, very big. Don't want to spoil it and don't want to
I want
jinx
to know.
it. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But
I
it's
wanna
not
know.
confirmed, so I can't really say much about it.
Okay.
But I think the most closest in the future thing is our Monstercat EP, which we've been working really long and hard for. We are approaching the final steps of mixing and mastering everything, and finishing up the last final details of
Do you
each
mix
song.
and master all your stuff?
Yes,
Awesome.
and I kill myself.
That's
with that.
awesome.
It's hard, but it's rewarding because
Yeah,
I like
seriously.
trying new things.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then after that, I think we want to try some new genres. Maybe a house EP. Maybe a little bit of a sidestep.
Cool.
Try to figure out some new projects we can work on. So yeah, house EP is on the horizon, hopefully,
Awesome.
or house album. I don't know. We're still figuring it out. That's
Album.
so far in the future,
Yeah.
but that's where we've been heading.
Cool. Yeah. So back to the.
I want to be remembered for.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for.
Being awesome.
Well, besides being awesome, I think what I want to do in the future is kind of influence. I want to be a trendsetter at some point. I want to be able to say that. I want people to say like, oh, that kind of sounds like Pixel Terror. Like I want us to pioneer the new sound.
I love that. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ahrya. One half of Pixel Terror.
The better half.
The better, the better half.
I hope he
hears.
Listen to him.
I hope he hears that. We're gonna do the end, which are fan questions with Ahrya. All right. From Elias the Dake. Should I move to LA for Icon Collective or take a gap year and learn on my own?
Well, I don't know where you are from. So maybe you're in a great place that thrives. I mean, I think if you're starting from scratch, I didn't do Icon Collective. I've heard really good things about Icon Collective. So yeah, I personally didn't do Icon Collective, but there are so many resources online to learn how to do music production at this point. It really depends on what kind of person you are and what works for you. If you're someone that maybe needs like an organized schedule and someone that needs like the motivation, then Icon Collective can be good in that sense, where you have like a set curriculum. Otherwise, if you think you're like confident enough and you think you can keep at it yourself, there's a wealth of information out there. With me, I started a little bit early, so it was a little bit harder to find the resources. I know nowadays there are so many online classes like Icon, but I know like SemX had the whole academy thing. But there's so many resources online, live streams like Virtual Riot. NASCO does a really cool live stream, so there's a lot of online resources as well. I think it just kind of depends on your motivation and how you work, really.
Robert, zip it please. Favorite ice cream?
Oh, Salt and Straw, easily. We actually just passed by. It is the best ice cream ever.
Is it just one ice cream?
No.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of different flavors. That way.
GR Joe. GR Joe.
Okay.
Dream collab? Question mark?
Dream collab? Swedish House Mafia.
Oh.
No. So, well, yeah, of course, I love Swedish House Mafia. Dream collab would probably be love Virtual Riot. Really big fan of his sound design. Dream collab would probably be The Weeknd, honestly.
That would be amazing.
Maybe
if I
one
were
day.
to choose one, it'd be like Billie Eilish or
Billie
Khaled.
Eilish is really good. Khalid's really good also.
Turlik Tariq. Why do all your Monstercat releases end with an A?
Because my name ends in an A.
Is that really?
Ahrya.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but did you know that it was? Did you purposely do that?
All of our Monstercat songs end in an A. I never even noticed.
Yeah, apparently this guy did, which is pretty impressive.
It's a little thing we do.
Yeah.
It's a little tradition. So Contra and Amnesia were our first two songs that got signed to Monstercat, and we didn't notice that they both ended in an A. So we're like, okay, let's keep it going.
And lastly, Toro Hector, why Monstercat and welcome? See, this is heavy. Don't walk into the pole.
I'm not gonna. Which way do you want to go?
This way. That was the last question.
Okay, so Monstercat, I talked about it. Really great label. One of the best labels we worked with. They're very nice, very smart about their strategy, very well-oiled machine, as Sasha says. I think why we were so drawn to Monstercat was because our sound and our look is very in line with what they typically promote and what their brand themselves. So it was like a match made in heaven. And we love to release the more like ethereal and more video gamey.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, cool. The more ethereal and more video gamey type of music that we make. And then Welcome, we make a lot of very hard dubstep and very hard music in general. And us being big fans of Keizo, big fans of the different people on there, and collaborating with other people like J-Code who are also on the label, there was a really good outlet to kind of showcase our really like more aggressive dubstep and aggressive bass music. And they're really cool as well. We love Keizo. We love just everyone on the label, and we hope to release some more music with them soon.
Alrighty.
Cool.
So sorry guys if Ahrya's missing like half a head. That's my fault for being so short. But yeah, thank you guys.
Bye guys.